everyone, my name is Random, and if you guys haven't already guessed, I actually used to be a pretty huge Star Wars fan. Maybe not as big of a Star Wars fan as a Star Trek fan, but I certainly grew up with the franchise, and there's just something that I really, really have to tackle on my rant series. And if you couldn't tell already by the title of the video, it's those goddamn dice from the Han Solo movie. Oh my god. I think a lot of people's problem with them is that they just kept hammering the shot in. Anytime they could insert the shot of somebody holding the dice. Let's pretend these are the dice. I didn't want to grab any images because I don't want to get copyrighted or anything. But pretend these are the dice. There would always be an insert of, oh, remember the dice? The dice are a thing. The dice are the thing you need to buy. And it was just goddamn pathetic and stupid. The biggest problem, though, with that is what happened in The Last Jedi. And as you guys probably know, anybody who will be watching my channel for Star Wars anything probably is well aware of all of the reshoots and how Solo and Last Jedi were pretty much going on around the same time during production, or really close to each other. And so to me, this is my opinion on it, it really feels like there was this giant studio note of, oh, we need something to market these movies. We need something we can sell. And it happened to be the dice. I mean, you know, would be fine, would be totally fine, except for what they did with the Solo movie. Now, so here's some spoilers for Last Jedi and Solo, in case you guys haven't seen either of them. Don't watch this, but, you know, don't watch them either. They're kind of awful movies. In the very end of Last Jedi, Luke Skywalker hands Princess Leia the dice that are hanging from the Millennium Falcon as this sort of token of, hey, remember Han, which is wonderful. It's a great thing. Except that Solo goes and completely fucks that all up for everybody. It just completely ruins the entire sentiment of the dice. Because in Han Solo, we see that these dice are his kind of go-to thing that he slings on his little stupid speeder or whatever with his girlfriend Khaleesi from Game of Thrones. They drive around and all this stuff, and they're even trying to get off the planet. And she ends up with the dice staying there on this planet, on Corellia. I think it's Corellia. I don't remember much of this movie because it was so hard to even see or pay attention to. It was that terrible. So they end up separated. She ends up with the dice while he is off trying to, you know, get off of the planet. She hangs on to these goddamn dice for 3 years while he is away being an Imperial whatever he was. I barely paid attention to this movie. It was so hard to even see. That's another rant for another day, though, is the lack of these movies being shot in fucking color. For God's sake, let's film these movies in color. But that's another rant. So we learn that he's off being an Imperial soldier for like 3 years while she's hanging on to these dice, God knows where. She probably had to stash them somewhere so they wouldn't take them from her. I mean, if she's getting captured, where's she putting these dice? And she hangs on to them for all of these years while he's away, and then he finally has to come back and do all these business dealings with Woody Harrelson, and it's like the dice seem to represent his love of her. Not the love of the dice, not the luck charm, not any of the expanded universe stuff where he used the dice to win the ship. That stuff doesn't happen. He didn't use the dice to win the Millennium Falcon, making the dice absolutely meaningless. They aren't even a good luck charm. They're really, really focused on being this kind of remembrance of this romance that... This will come across as me being kind of like a crazy girlfriend type, like a jealous girlfriend type, which is probably, there's probably a little truth to this if it's something that sentimental to you that you had to make a point to go back for and hang on to the rest of your life, knowing that they remind you of this woman, this one place and one time in your life when you were with this woman. So for Luke Skywalker to hand them to Princess Leia, then it's like, here, your baby daddy was awful and ran off, leaving you to raise this horrible brat of a kid that I tried to murder. Here you go. Here's the dice from his ex. Like, no, you didn't. No, you didn't, Luke. And it's not, I'm sure it's not the intent of anything in The Last Jedi versus Solo. I think that these movies and the whole franchise is so mismanaged and so all over the place that they don't even consider these things. It's just like how Star Trek Discovery, people call it STD, because nobody stops to think ever. You guys never stop to think. Did you not realize that people are going to assume that these dice represent Han Solo's ex-girlfriend? That's what they're representing now. They're not representing him winning the Millennium Falcon. They're not representing, him being this gambler, him being this suave, thing. You could kind of argue that they're two, like, that they represent this pivotal point in his life, but he didn't even have them for 3 years, so they're not even that pivotal of a point in his life. Maybe they were to represent him meeting Chewbacca, which is kind of the love of his life, and the ship, which is another love of his life. But dear God, don't even get me started on what they did to disgrace the goddamn Millennium Falcon. Oh, Lord. This whole franchise is just ridiculous, with these sort of stupid idiot moments when you have these sort of things that nobody thinks about. Did nobody think about this? Is it just me? What do you guys think? Am I just kind of projecting my own crazy on these dice? I mean, as annoying as they are to be kind of forced down people's throats, and I'm even seeing online how they gave them away on opening night in AMC theaters. They gave away little promotional dice. Oh my God, that's so insulting. It's like I've had exes give me things that their whores have picked out for me, like that. I've thrown that shit away. I don't want the dice knowing what they represent. And poor Princess Leia didn't know. And that just pisses me off, because Princess Leia and Han Solo were such a strong, powerful relationship anyway. To even introduce an ex that he pines over for years is goddamn insulting. Why do we need this stuff in these movies? Can somebody please question something on these films when you guys make them? I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments section below. Oh, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye!